Today we celebrate a major milestone for regional mobility, opening the final segment of the East Lake Sammamish Trail.
Hello everyone and welcome to Best Side Cycling. Today's a momentous day in Seattle cycling as the 11 miles East Lake Sammamish Trail is now open and completely paved. Connecting to already a wide network of other trails, you can basically ride in King County for 40 miles all purely on trail. So in today's video, there's a lot to go through, but first, we're gonna go check out some of these festivities that King County Parks was hosting, hear from some friends and some people that you'll recognize that had a big part of getting this done, and then of course we'll go ride the new trail together where I will show you and tell you everything you need to know and more about this awesome piece of new cycling infrastructure. So let's get into it.
Look at these kids having a good time in the bicycle rodeo set up by Cascade Bicycle Club.
This is harder than it looks, guys. This is really hard. So we start out with some fun here, but yeah, there was a lot of nice festivities set up. There was even free food, tacos for everyone to enjoy, and really all of this is due to the fact that this trail actually is literally decades in the making that we'll hear from some of these folks with much more experience than I do. Alright, so I'm here with none other than Tom from Seattle Bike Blog. How are you doing today?
Oh, so good.
Alright, so yeah, we'd love to hear what you think of this new trail opening.
Well, it's amazing. It's 40 years in the making.
Really? Yeah, so from all your time covering it, what's been some of the highlights? What do you want people to know?
Yeah, well, there have been literal generations of advocates and King County workers who have worked on this project just to bring it to this day.
Hi, my name's Sujata Goyal and I provide government relations support for King County Parks.
Yeah, so awesome. So yeah, what was your role in terms of this whole East Lake Sammamish Trail opening today?
Yeah, well, we're super excited to have this trail open. It's almost 3 decades in the making, from when we bought it to now, today, to having the final segment complete. And my role really was in helping support really just ownership rights. So the trail is built on a corridor that used to be a railroad, and what I did was help support the endeavor to kind of clarify, like, yes, this is public land, and to sort of reclaim it as public land, and then to be able to keep it open for the public, and then to be able to build an amazing trail on it. So really, public land should be used for public benefit, and a trail is one of the best benefits around.
So speaking of trails, let's get to riding, and what all the hubbub today was about is really the paving and opening of a 3.3 mile section from Inglewood to 33rd Street that's basically been under construction since 2021. So let's get over there and see what's up. So we're here at where the trail used to end. Behind me is where it used to be unpaved a long time ago before they closed it for construction and all that. There's even a sign still that says pavement ends, but not anymore. It's ready to ride. And yeah, this is a huge milestone because before what you had to do was climb up this very, very steep hill on this end and then end up with riding with a lot of cars. So now I'm just going to take you for a full tour of the trail. I bought both a helmet cam today and my 360. This should be a lot of fun. And the first thing I see as I get rolling on here is a helicopter. That is pretty interesting. But anyway, first things first, I want to talk about the whole East Lake Sammamish Trail. It is really a 10-mile trail that goes all the way from Redmond heading into Issaquah. It has direct connections with the Mary Moore Connector Trail, which basically leads you right into the Sammamish River Trail, and also the Issaquah Preston one. But really, even though this is a 3.3 mile opening precisely today, it feels like a much bigger one, as King County has sort of dubbed the new Locks to Lake corridor. If you go on the Burke-Gilman all the way from Golden Gardens, head up all the way over Bothell using Sammamish River Trail, connecting onto here, going south to Issaquah. That is already 44 miles about. So you can basically spend all day riding away from cars now, and that is pretty amazing, as people have always enjoyed the 3-trail loop variant of the Burke-Gilman, Sammamish River, and 520 heading backwards. But in terms of the trail itself, definitely just follows the same pattern as what was before. Really well paved, super wide, has some gravel shoulders on the side. I think this is sort of standard for a lot of new trails, as this is sort of really similar format to the East Rail one that is right near where I ride all the time in South Bellevue. So definitely no worries there. And in terms of the views, you can already see here on the sides, it is pretty immaculate. As you get really close to Lake Sammamish, there are parts where it really opens up. And yeah, there is some seating that I've been seeing as I've been riding through, but it is an interesting sort of trail in this sense, as just as you heard before, it was sort of a gargantuan effort to get this built due to ownership rights. Mainly just I think how this is placed between all these different properties. On the right is just a ton of beautiful waterfront ones, and then on the left there's always a hill to Sammamish Parkway. So I would make a point for everyone just to make sure that they are respectful and just don't go on any private roads or driveways. But with that said, mentioning about hills earlier, this trail is completely flat as many rail trails are. So yeah, this place really makes the perfect candidate for me as someone just to bring a beginner to ride with. It's just so easy and it's a great place to start. It's where I really started learning to ride and where I brought my spouse with me as well, and she had a really great time. There's really no turns involved. You're just going straight ahead, and yeah, this is a place really apt for just users of all abilities and of all sort of things. So if you've been enjoying this video so far, please roll that like button, subscribe. I cover all sort of things Seattle cycling, but my channel is just all about getting you on your bike, and one of the main ways I do that is showing people where to ride. And this is just such a fantastic example, as yeah, back in the day, I started riding around King County in 2017, and I remember I just came upon that section and it was like unpaved, and I was really nervous, but I just went ahead anyway. And yeah, I was sort of like rickety rocketing the whole time, really uncomfortable. And yeah, eventually gave up and went back on the really busy parkway, for at the time for me was very sort of scary. So it's pretty mind-boggling to me and very nostalgic to be able to ride here now on paved roads. But I mean, I'm a very different cyclist now than before, much more confident, but it is just so relaxing and way different to ride on something like this. And on that note, yeah, I would definitely say today might have been an exception with like just how many people there were, especially closer towards Marymore Park. But definitely, I think the trail speed limits of 15 miles per hour just sort of roughly makes a lot of sense, especially on the very busy days, especially even with how wide it is. Really, we don't want to mix the super fast riders with just beginning riders, kids, and dogs that just sort of run all around. So definitely just keep a heads up. And as always, I would just say be respectful, and I think pretty sure things will work out. As yeah, definitely in terms of the whole Lake Sammamish loop now, one thing is for certain, the east side is definitely the best side. Okay, I'm sorry to all my Seattle-lite friends. But yeah, the West Lake Sammamish is definitely a much different environment, as there's no multi-use path like this, and basically there is a mix of shoulder, a large sidewalk, and so on, but you probably are gonna have to be confident enough to ride with cars. What I recommend instead is probably to go through the Bellevue residential neighborhoods, use the East Bellevue Greenway. The downside of that is mainly that you'll have to climb a lot more hills. To me, that's sort of a treat, but to most people, probably not. And also, the unfortunate thing about that is that it involves a lot more different turns through the different neighborhoods and such. But definitely a whole Lake Sammamish loop is possible, and I'm hoping that the conditions on the west side of Lake Sammamish will be sort of more apt for users of all abilities as well in the future. But anyway, at this point, you've heard a lot of me talking, and I sort of want to bring it back to some of the people I was interviewing earlier, hearing about what they're going to use this trail for and what it means to them. How do you think about this new trail? How do you think you're going to use it?
I'm really excited about it. One, I've just seen it basically ready for a long time, just fenced off. You're not allowed to go on it, but it'll be really convenient for just, you know, extending my rides when I'm going around Lake Sammamish. I would like to avoid that section that you have to climb up and then just ride with the cars, and that really sucks. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be great for just riders of kind of all skill levels around the area, including myself.
Big day. Love what Cascade's doing, trying to expand the trail system. This one's been a long one, so we're just excited to see it. You know, we've been down East Lake Sammamish a lot of times, and now we get to feel safe on the trail.
Perfect. Have a great ride, guys. How do you personally plan to use this trail?
Well, yeah, so today I'm doing the Three Lakes loop,
Yep.
which is around Lake Union, down 520, around Sammamish, and then back on I-90. So that's going all the way around 3 whole lakes.
That's great.
Sort of, half of Lake Washington, I guess.
I am just really excited to get on the trail and ride.
Right, okay, you cycle too?
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean,
okay.
I slow cycle.
No,
but I do cycle.
Okay, that's great.
But I'm just excited to be able to just enjoy my backyard.
And I hope you enjoyed those thoughts, and I'd love to hear yours too. So comment below what you think. This has been a super action-packed video compared to most of my infrastructure ones, and that's mainly because of just how many people were around. It really energizes me when you guys come up to me, and you are always welcome to be in my videos. But anyway, after all that, one thing I do want to point out is that I found this really nice section here where things really begin to open up, as well as the only section where I found picnic tables that you can use to just sort of chillax and eat some snacks. Alright, so I found a really nice part of this new section. It features 2 little tables here. I'll sort of pin the location on a map, but what I found about this spot, out of everything I see on the trail, is that it has a really nice view of the water. I mean, there's trees and everything, but it's like pretty wide open, so a really good spot to take a rest in this new paved area. So enjoy. I'm gonna chill here and then let's just keep on riding. And we keep on rolling, and this section really is super nice. There's just something about riding next to water. I think a tip I have in general when it comes to just visiting new places and riding your bike is to just go along rivers or bodies of water. That's usually tend to be where cycling trails end up being. So yeah, definitely a great way to enjoy the Pacific Northwest here. And I think at this point, I'm just really grateful for having this trail here. And overall, as you probably can tell from this channel, I always have quite a positive, optimistic view when it comes to seeing infrastructure appear here in King County. Since I moved here in 2016, a lot of things have I feel like just sort of changed a lot for the better. But I do know that it is a very hard fought battle, but where I see my role personally in all of this is just to be a positive message to get as many people sort of on their bikes, and I hope that other people will continue to take on the mantle and really work on these changes, because really when we can get stuff like this going, people will ride their bikes, and it really does a lot for just everyone. I think cycling has done so much for me personally. That's the reason I'm so motivated to just come out here on the day of and show you all so that you can enjoy it too. It's really just from my own pure joy of cycling. But anyway, last thing before I forget, if you are interested in learning more about Seattle's history from a cycling lens, I highly recommend you check out Tom's book, Biking Uphill in the Rain. He just gave me a printed copy today, so I'm excited to read through it all and educate myself and learn more about, sort of how this city came to be as one that I really, really do love now, and all of its rain and hills. But today is neither rainy nor hilly, as it's a brilliant October day and really awkwardly hot. But we're going to cap off this video with me talking about some of my favorite use cases for this trail and that I recommend to you to try. One of them is to visit Jacob Two Trees in Issaquah. There's a bunch of new famous troll sculptures all around the Puget Sound. Jacob Two Trees is on the Rainier Trail that you can connect to fairly easily at the very end of the trail. As well as something that I got to experience this day was actually head to Salmon Days Festival. It was at the most people I've ever seen in Issaquah. I've never attended one before, so be able to combine a new multi-use trail with such a pedestrian friendly event, that was sort of a sight to behold today. But I think, yeah, I really do enjoy riding around in Issaquah, as I usually stay south of the I-90, and I really love climbing the Issaquah Alps. But yeah, aside, as well as you can definitely use this trail to hit up Redmond, which is also super cycling friendly. They have a lot of different infrastructure and a lot of bike shops. Really, I think they have the most sort of dense bike shop area that out of a lot of places on the east side. So with that, we are about done this section of the trail. Once you go past this, it will become a little bit more shaded. I might do a future video on the rest of the East Lake Sammamish Trail, but basically there's going to be a few more open intersections that you do have to watch out for traffic lights and such. But this whole part here didn't feature any, and it was really smooth, and I really love these little like Christmas tree things. But anyway, yeah, that's all I had for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you all in the next one.